America's 50 most rat-infested cities. Surprisingly, New York City, home of the Subway pizza rat, is not the rodent capital of the United States. According to a recent analysis, another city receives that dubious honor. Why do people hate rats so much? That's because rat bites carry illnesses like leptospirosis, tularemia, and salmonellosis. They will also harm your belongings by biting and scratching at the surfaces of your house, in addition to other risks. Orkin, a nationwide provider of pest control services, has developed a list of the 50 rattiest cities in the United States. The business ranked each city based on the number of commercial and residential rodent treatments it performed there during a 12-month period, September 1, 2020 to August 31st, 2021. Even though the data is anecdotal, because it only originates from one business, it does highlight the regions with the most need for rat exterminators. See the entire list of the 50 rattiest cities below, and if you suffer from musophobia, a fear of mice or rats, consider not moving to one of the towns at the bottom of the list. Number 50, Tampa, Florida. Because more Tampa residents stayed home during the pandemic, local pest control businesses received more calls about rats. The Tampa Bay Times quoted Blake Foster, owner and operator of Premium Pest and Animal Control, as saying, "Now that they're home, they're hearing it. It's making them feel nervous." Number 49, Albuquerque, New Mexico. Not only do rats frequent houses and eateries in Albuquerque, but they also seem to enjoy postal rooms. Due to a serious rat and rodent issue, the Occupational Safety and Health Administration issued a $9,475 fine to a local post office in 2019. Number 48, Dayton, Ohio. One of the 4 Ohio cities on the list is Dayton. It frequently appears in news involving rats. The Humane Society of Greater Dayton discovered 300 pet rats in a studio apartment in an abandoned neighborhood in 2014. Number 47, Charleston, West Virginia. According to the most recent rankings from Orkin, Charleston moved up 4 spots to enter the top 50. Even so, the city's primary animal issue is not rats. Cockroaches are the most common pest in Charleston, according to Orkin. Number 46, Syracuse, New York. It's believed that Syracuse severe winters play a significant role in the city's rodent problem. Normally, rats and mice don't hibernate. Therefore, as the temperature drops, rodents enter houses. 45, Green Bay, Wisconsin. Because of the severity of the rodent issue in Green Bay, the city allocated $5,000 in 2018 to buy rat traps. The city's surrounding county, Brown County, followed suit. The collaborative effort was nearly too successful. They ultimately left over 600 extra traps in the Green Bay area. The extras were still lying unused in a museum storage space in downtown Green Bay as of 2020. Number 44, Greenville, South Carolina. The most prevalent species of rat discovered in buildings in South Carolina is the brown rat, commonly referred to as the sewer rat or Norway rat. The rodent can weigh up to 1 pound and is normally brown or gray in color and has scaly tails. Number 43, Phoenix, Arizona. In 2016, government officials in Phoenix set up bait stations on every telephone pole and tree on public land in the city's Arcadia neighborhood. But the efforts did little to extradite the rodents that, in Phoenix at least, are frequently found in attics. Number 42, Charlotte, North Carolina. Another city with a radiant past is Charlotte. A Charlotte bargain business made local news in 2016 after a worker claimed rats and rat droppings were common there. 41, Buffalo, New York. There's a chance that climate change is a factor in Buffalo's rat problem. A health department representative for Buffalo's home county of Erie, New York, told WKBW-TV in 2018 that rat populations were thriving due to the warmer winters. Number 40, Louisville, Kentucky. The Okolona neighborhood in Louisville was the subject of a recent rat-related headline, even though the entire city was included on the list. Residents of Okolona reported dozens of rodents living in an abandoned house in 2021, claiming that were eating through car wiring and destroying yards. Number 39, Burlington, Vermont. In Vermont, rats are a pretty widespread issue. The University of Vermont in Burlington published research in 2018 that discussed the difficulties rats pose for the state's agriculture and how some growers have overcome them. Number 38, Portland, Maine. Exterminators in Portland, Maine noticed a 30% rise in rat-related calls following the commencement of the COVID-19 epidemic in 2020. City officials distributed flyers in one neighborhood advising people to pick up after their dogs and to place their rubbish in trash cans in order to deter rats. Number 37, Champaign, Illinois. It's possible that not all the rats in the Illinois community are unwanted. Older lab rats are employed by the University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign researchers in 2013 to demonstrate that vocal training can be used to strengthen vocal muscles. This study may have implications for older people as well. Number 36, Nashville, Tennessee. Staffing and fleet problems caused delays in garbage pickup in the Nashville area in January 2022, which resulted in rat complaints. Number 35, Raleigh, North Carolina. Raleigh may be one of the rattiest cities in America, but it also has other problems, and those problems are snakes. According to a May 2022 article in the Sampson Independent of North Carolina, warmer weather in Raleigh area has led to an increase in snake sightings. Number 34, Flint, Michigan. The mayor of Flint issued a warning about the project's potential to uproot rodent nests when the city's council approved a proposal to tear down nearly 2,400 abandoned homes and businesses in April 2022. At a city council meeting, Flint Mayor Sheldon Neely stated groundhogs, possums, rats, and mice, they have to be abated before we take those homes down. Number 33, New Orleans, Louisiana. At the beginning of the COVID-19 outbreak, as Bourbon Street's bars and eateries closed, videos showed scores of rats fleeing across the deserted streets. A tour guide told CBS News in 2020, if you look around the corner, there's probably 30 rats at the corner munching on something in the center of the street. Number 32, Grand Rapids, Michigan. According to the most recent Orkin rankings, Grand Rapids has made success in the fight against rats, falling 3 spots from number 29. Fun fact, Kalkauskas, which is roughly 2 hours north of Grand Rapids, is home to one of Michigan's oldest ratteries, where rats are reared and sold as pets. Number 31, Albany, New York. If Orkin's yearly lists are any indicator, there are still rats in the state capital of New York. On the list of the company's Rattiest Cities for 2019, Albany came in at number 48, prior to dropping to 31 on the most recent ranking. It rose to number 31 on the most recent ranking. It rose to number 38 in 2020. Number 30, St. Louis, Missouri. Rodent infestations significantly dropped in St. Louis after the city switched from utilizing only bags for waste collection to using metal and plastic containers in 1970s. Rats are still a problem in the river town because there are so many eateries there. Number 29, Sacramento, California. During the COVID-19 outbreak, pest control companies in Sacramento experienced an increase of new calls, but did the lockdowns contribute to the problem? A new California state legislation that prohibited extremely toxic rodenticides may be to blame, according to KOVR Story TVs from March 2021. The restriction was put in place to guard against the accidental poisoning of wildlife. However, a pest management firm claimed it had taken out of its toolbox a crucial weapon for getting rid of rats. 28, Richmond, Virginia. Residents of a 783-unit public housing complex in Richmond made 323 work order requests for pest control in the first 9 months of 2021. The Richmond News stated that one resident dialed a distress hotline because of the severity of the mice and rat situation. The Gilpin Court resident admitted to being exhausted, both physically and psychologically, from the media source. "I'm done crying," you say. Number 27, Norfolk, Virginia. Rat infestations during the cooler months have been a source of complaints from locals in Norfolk's Colonial Place district. Joe Kortorski stated to a nearby news station in 2019 that is nightly. We typically receive 2 to 4 people per night, if not more. Number 26, Columbus, Ohio. Over the past few years, Columbus has experienced an increase in rat reports. New advancements have received criticism. According to a representative of the Columbus Health Department, we definitely observed an uptick in rat activity when there is construction. WSYX TV reported in 2019. Rats are underground creatures, so when the dirt is dug up, they scramble to find new food supplies and places to reside. Number 25, Kansas City, Missouri. The rats in this Missouri city are not only numerous, but also enormous. In 2017, a resident in Kansas City told WDAF TV, "You can see them out of the window from my kitchen looking down onto my yard because they are so large. I initially mistook them for rabbits, but you can see them strolling around the yard." Number 24, Portland, Oregon. In Portland, Oregon, a single pile of garbage became a focal point for rat complaints. The trash heap accumulated from 2020 to 2021 in a northeast neighborhood and eventually took up half a block. KGW TV reported it became a haven for rats and even caught fire at least once. Number 23, Miami, Florida. Given that Miami is the second most populous city in Florida, it stands to reason that it's also one of the rattiest. After all, rats go where the people are. Considering that Miami was number 20 on Orkin's 2020 list, the performance is actually an improvement. Number 22, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Rat sightings are unfortunately a frequent occurrence for residents of the West Lawn Gardens housing complex in Milwaukee. I'm not exaggerating when I say it's a lot, one neighbor told WISN TV in 2021. 21, Hartford, Connecticut. The state capital of Connecticut is experimenting with a humane method of rodent control, a liquid birth control that temporarily reduces male and female rat fertility is placed in 30 bait stations around the city's Bushnell Park every week, according to a 2021 article in the Hartford Courant. Number 20, Dallas, Texas. 4.3% of Dallas area homeowners said they have seen a rodent inside their home in the previous year, according to a 2021 research. It might be worse because during the same time period, 18.7% of homeowners reported seeing at least one cockroach. Number 19, Cincinnati, Ohio. Rat spotters in Cincinnati can call a dedicated hotline for help. When someone calls the city's Healthy Homes line to report a pest issue, they give the complaint to a sanitarian who goes to inspect the issue and, if necessary, contacts the landlord to have it fixed. Number 18, Houston, Texas. Georgia Evans, 71, literally took matters into her own hands when she discovered an infestation in her Houston home. Evans killed snakes and rodents while walking around her residence with a machete, according to a January 2022 story by KRIV-TV. Later, a councilman from Houston intervened and made arrangements from a pest control business to assist Evans. Number 17, San Diego. Residents of San Diego's Ocean Beach neighborhood reported rats, mice, possums, and other animals living in a single ivy-colored tree in 2019. According to the Orkin survey from 2020, San Diego was placed 19th. Number 16, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. In recent years, mouse populations in western Pennsylvania has increased due to the region's mild winters. The local rat population was severely distributed by the COVID-19 outbreak. As closures began to take hold in 2020, pest control managers, according to Pittsburgh's TribLive, noted an increase in rat activity and rat cannibalism. Number 15, Atlanta, Georgia. Local rat infestations have shut down stores, invaded schools, and forced people from their homes, even in Johns Creek. After placing 14th in the company's 2020 survey, Atlanta drops a spot in Orkin's most recent rankings. Atlanta is the home of Orkin. Number 14, Indianapolis, Indiana. Orkin's rankings have seen an upward trend for Indianapolis. They placed it 16th in 2019 and 15th in 2020. Number 13th, Boston, Massachusetts. The number of rodent-related complaints in Boston decreased by 10% in the first 11 months of 2021, according to the apartment listing website RentHop. However, Boston was added to the list as a result of rat activity that began in September 2020. As stated by the U.S., more than 18% of homes in the Boston metro area have mice or rats, according to the 2019 American Housing Survey by the Census Bureau. Number 12, Minneapolis, Minnesota. The rat problem in Minneapolis appears to be easing a little. The city came in 9th place in Orkin's 2019 study. In the newly announced rankings in 2020, it dropped from 2 more spots to 10. In the most recent study, it ranks here at number 12. Number 11, Seattle, Washington. Copper ants were Seattle's most often reported pests in the 1970s. According to the Seattle Weekly, whereas rat sightings were only common in coastal areas. Rats, however, spread throughout the city as more people migrated to the Puget Sound region and more building followed. Number 10, Cleveland, Ohio. In 2020, rats started to appear everywhere for inhabitants of a Cleveland Heights apartment complex that was close to one of the busiest business areas in the city. One local informed the TV station that at night, when it gets a little cold, the rats would get beneath her car and tear out her cables. Number 9, Denver, Colorado. The Denver Department of Public Health and Environment closed Lincoln Park Memorial Park, which is located across from the Colorado State Capitol building, in January 2020 due to health concerns related to rat infestations. Civic Center Park, another public area near to the state capitol, was also shuttered and cleaned up in 2018. Number 8, Detroit, Michigan. Detroit spends up to $300,000 annually on rat elimination initiatives, which include providing homeowners with free poison traps. However, rats are frequently seen in Detroit, particularly in the waterfront neighborhoods of the urban region. Number 7, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Philadelphia's rat problems prompt residents of the Mayfair neighborhood to demand action from their city in May 2022. People there claim to see hundreds of rats every day, according to CBS Philly, with one homeowner saying he spotted a rat the size of a cat. Number 6, Baltimore, Maryland. Baltimore, which was place 8 in Orkin study from 2020 that was published, jumps to number 6 in the most recent rankings, and that's not a good trend. According to the Baltimore Sun, city exterminators handled more than 153,000 requests for rodent treatment in 2021, an increase from each of the 2 years prior. Number 5, San Francisco, California. San Francisco maintains its score of number 5 from Orkin's rankings published in 2020. A San Francisco medicine store was briefly forced to close in November 2021 as a result of what a health inspector called a serious rat infestation. Number 4, Washington, D.C. According to the Orkin poll, the nation's capital has a lot of rats, but not enough to rank number 1. According to WUSA TV, more than 11,300 calls regarding rats were made to Washington, D.C.'s 311 hotline in 2021, a more than 50% increase over calls made in 2020. Number 3, New York City. It should come as no surprise that the country of subways, congested streets, and the piece of rat rodent, which has gone viral, rated so high on Orkin's most recent list. An estimated 2 million rats reside in New York City. Number 2, Los Angeles, California. The rat problem is severe and pervasive in sunny Los Angeles, especially in neighborhoods with a lot of rubbish close to the city's center. In 2018, there was a typhus outbreak in Los Angeles County. Fleas that have been infected by ill rats and other animals commonly carry typhus to humans. In the survey conducted by Orkin in 2020, Los Angeles was ranked number 2. Number 1, Chicago, Illinois. In Orkin's most recent ranking of Rattiest Cities, Chicago tops the list, just as it did in the survey that was published in 2020. A neighborhood humane society has been releasing 10 to 15 feral cats in neighborhoods each month for the past 10 years or so in an effort to control Chicago's rat issue. Thank you for watching our videos, and if you learned anything from this video, then we ask that you like this video and subscribe to our channel as we will release more great videos in the future.